Greetings, fellow Weber Maniacs, and welcome back to a brand new video. For those that don't know me, my name is Joseph Weber, present online as the Weber Mania, and Season 3 of March of Martyrs is coming round the corner. And what better way to celebrate this than doing a top 5 list of the iterations of Superstar from Jesus Christ Superstar. For those that don't know, Jesus Christ Superstar is one of my top 5 favorite musicals that have been done since the dawn of time. And I honestly love Jesus Christ Superstar as one of the works that Andrew Lloyd Webber and Tim Rice have ever done. Although several people have made that issue of saying it's anti-Semitic and anti-God. In a way, it's their telling of what really happened for the Passion of Jesus Christ. And as a Roman Catholic, I believe in that belief of you have to accept different aspects of the Passion of Jesus Christ. And Jesus Christ Superstar tells that specific story of the Passion of Jesus Christ from the lens of Judas Iscariot, which was an idea that Tim Rice had when he was 15 years old. So, without further ado, I would like to give you my top 5, as of right now, iterations of the number Superstar from Jesus Christ Superstar. Number 5 for the best iteration of Jesus Christ Superstar's musical number Superstar, in my opinion. Note that this is my opinion only, but if don't get offended easily. Don't get offended if you have a iteration that's not on the list on my top 5, but feel free to share your opinions down in the comment section below. I really want to know what you guys think about it. So number 5 for the best iteration of Jesus Christ Superstar is the 2000 film Jesus Christ Superstar. This was the first movie produced by Andrew Lloyd Webber and Tim Rice that coincided with the 1996 and 1995 the revival of Jesus Christ Superstar. In the film Jesus Christ Superstar, it had Glenn Carter as Jesus, Jerome Prodone as Judas Iscariot, and Tony Vincent as Simon Zealot, as well as Rick Mayall from comedy specials galore as King Herod. What really stood out in this iteration of Jesus Christ Superstar with the musical number, it kind of brought a little bit of aesthetics from the Broadway and other iterations of Jesus Christ Superstar from the West End, in which it was different from the first ever Jesus Christ Superstar film that debuted in 1973, because although they wanted to avoid the gospel-esque spiritual ghost whatnot, it was a mix between angels and demons. They went with there was a mix of the costume attire was for Judas. It was mostly red with a little bit of black, and the Soul Sisters were kind of it was a mix of latex dress for that. If you don't know what I am referring to, I will leave a link to all of the honorable mentions and all the mentions I have for Jesus Christ Superstar down in the description, so that way that you can get a view for not only why I chose them, but also if you see an interesting part about it, don't be hesitant to enjoy enjoying the views from others as well. And just to make sure that it's a little bit even, if you just stumbled across this from my channel, not knowingly where the sources come from, please subscribe to the main sources, whether it be the official Jesus Christ Superstar YouTube channel or The Shows Must Go On, or Andrew Lloyd Webber, or the Andrew Lloyd Webber musical YouTube channel, please give them the love and attention they respectively deserve. But it's a mix of, there is some ad-libbing in towards the end of Superstar, from Jesus Christ Superstar and the 2000 film, but it was so beautiful. I It was a mix of another production another production that will be mentioned later on, but it kind of brought the recording aspect to it. That's all I'm going to say about it. So, for those reasons, the 2000 film Jesus Christ Superstar iteration of the hit number Superstar is ranked number 5. Number 4. This is an interesting one. As I mentioned in for the number 5 spot, for number 4, this one is the Tony Award performance in the year 2000. This was when this was like the first Broadway revival for Jesus Christ Superstar back in 2000, after the original Jesus Christ Superstar productions went on a hiatus in the 70s and 80s. And when the London recordings for Jesus Christ Superstar revived again in 1996 or 1995, there was talk about doing Jesus Christ Superstar again in the United States, specifically at Broadway. And there were three characters primarily I want to cover. They're Glenn Carter, Tony Vincent, and Frederick B. Owens, I think. So, for Glenn Carter, as I said, he played Jesus in the 2000 film Jesus Christ Superstar. Tony Vincent, although that he played Simon the Zealot in the 2000 film Jesus Christ Superstar, he actually had the voice. He actually performed and played as Judas Iscariot in the 2000 productions of 2000 Broadway revival productions of Jesus Christ Superstar. And Frederick B. Owens played Caiaphas, although that I would like to meet them all and see the cast and enjoy every ounce of it. I think that with the Tony performance, back in 2000, they were going through the revival of Jesus Christ Superstar. And at the Tony Award performance, the cast of Jesus Christ Superstar did 2 numbers. They did the ending of Gethsemane, which is Jesus' soliloquy, but they also did Superstar, which is Judas's spiritual-esque questioning of what Jesus Christ is, honestly. And you're probably going to hear me again say Tony Vincent's name, not because he's in a future ranking, but I think that I think Tony Vincent has a talented voice, and that's all I'm going to say. The performance for the Tony Awards and Jesus Christ Superstar for year 2000, for the film specifically, they were almost the same. They had a similar layout. So to begin with, Jesus Christ at the beginning of Superstar is mostly going to be donning the crown of thorns, which is a traditional piece of iconography in the final moments of Jesus Christ towards his passion. But there were he also carries his cross, and the concept is, in Superstar, it is Judas and the other spiritual guests, which include the angels and the soul sisters. They kind of question who is Jesus? Why is he here? Why was he here to begin with? And kind of, in a way, trying to mess up his mind. That's just my understanding. And I've seen Jesus Christ Superstar, several productions of Jesus Christ Superstar online. During the COVID-19 pandemic, I've seen portions, nearly one show 3 times, and then there were several instances where I understood like a little bit about it. So for those reasons, so for a similar layout to Jesus Christ Superstar 2000 and another production, the Tony performance sits comfortably at number 4. Number 3 is the NBC live and concert version of Jesus Christ Superstar, which included heavy hitters like John Legend, Sarah Bareilles, Alice Cooper, Brandon Victor Dixon, and Norm Lewis. For those that don't know who any of those individuals are, quick, I don't know what world you're on anyways, but so with the Superstar iteration, it's similar. It pays a little bit of homage to both the it pays a little homage to both the like the original film mashed up with their version of like the production itself. Brandon Victor Dixon plays Judas Iscariot in the production of in the concert version of Jesus Christ Superstar, and Jesus Christ is played by John Legend. Sarah Bareilles is Mary Magdalene. Alice Cooper is King Herod, which is a role that he had in the 1996-95 revival recording of the London version of Jesus Christ Superstar, which is kind of a fun fact for you. And Norm Lewis, who is best known for playing the Phantom in Phantom of the Opera and Javert and the 25th anniversary concert of Les Miserables, played Caiaphas. Norm Lewis is best known as a baritone, but he has a wide vocal range. That's all I'm going to say. But what really shaped this performance is that it was recorded originally in 2018, but when COVID-19 hit, there was a YouTube channel by the name of The Shows Must Go On, which is a theater production YouTube channel that aims to help benefit actors and actresses and acting communities worldwide. Part of it was during the Easter Sunday season, in 2020, there were 2 productions of Jesus Christ Superstar offered. There was the one on Shows Must Go On, which we'll talk about later, and there was the repeat, if you lived in the United States, of the live and concert version that debuted in 2018. This was from the United States, but you can still, if you want to purchase any of the DVDs of the Jesus Christ Superstar performances, whether it be 1973, the 2000 film, 2018, whatever, they're still online, whether you buy them via Prime or buy DVDs on Amazon. I think those are good opportunities to help seed other knowledgeable aspects of it. So the live in concert from NBC was an interesting one because it was Brandon Victor Dixon, best known for playing in a production of Hamilton as Aaron Burr. He had a insane vocal range, and I will leave a link, as I stated, all the links for the tier list for the top 5 and the 2 honorable mentions They'll be in the description, so that way that you get the opportunity to see what I'm referring to and my reasoning behind it. So with that out of the way, and it's like a huge jam session for the live in concert, but the audience at the time loved it. So that's all I'm going to say about the live in concert, and for that reason, that's at number 3. The runner-up for the top 5 iterations of Superstar and Jesus Christ Superstar is the live arena tour back in 2012. This was a production, which was a concert set for an arena back in 2012, and this was an interesting lineup. Ben Forrester as Jesus Christ, Tim Minchin as Judas Iscariot, Melanie C. from Jesus Christ Superstar, or Melanie C. from the Spice Girls as Mary Magdalene, and it had, I think it was somebody else, but there was another person who played Caiaphas back in the recording in the London 1995 recordings, and he had the opportunity to perform that role again at the 2012 live arena concert and live arena tour. It was interesting because it had the layout of the stage was interesting, and you had to give credit to them, to the people behind it. And during Superstar, it was a mix of the filming aspect of like filming Jesus on his way to his passion, to Golgotha, the way of the skull, but it also included a mix of costuming, like similar to the Jesus Christ Superstar in the 2000 film, where most of the people, the women, were dressed like angels, and then the Soul Sisters were dressed in black garbs, and the ensemble men had a mix of black and white because of the duality of Jesus Christ and Judas Iscariot. I could go on in depth later, but not in this video, but that's a story for another day. But Superstar was interesting because in this film, the makeup department for that production did a good job with revealing the blood coming down from Jesus, from his head, and the whipping from the previous number, the trial before Pilate, including the 39 lashes. But it was an interesting aspect. I loved that production so much. You could see the comparison between the two films, the Jesus Christ Superstar from 1973, which recently celebrated its 50th anniversary, as well as the live arena tour. You'll see the differences, honestly. But for those reasons, and at the end, there is a special, they made the cross that Jesus dies upon, made out of not only the metal scaffolding, but also with some lights. And if you look at the end, like before, like the end cards begin to come out, the end cards to reveal themselves, it really illuminated the arena in a way. So for those reasons, the live arena tour sits comfortably as the runner-up for the best iteration for Jesus Christ Superstar's number Superstar. Now it's time for my honorable mentions. As I said, there were 2, so I'm going to make them as best as possible. So the first one is the original Jesus Christ Superstar back in 1973. Note that I'm not including albums or CDs because it's just something that it's understandable, but it's just my personal preference. I like watching like the visuals, not like the audio itself. So with Jesus Christ Superstar back in 1973. This one starred Ted Neely as Jesus, Ivana Lemon as Mary Magdalene, and Carl Anderson as Judas Iscariot. Carl Anderson, although he was very talented, he was best known for playing Judas Iscariot in Jesus Christ Superstar, but he recently passed away in 2004 after a medical issue. I think it was like a heart attack or something. But I think to give the respect for Jesus Christ Superstar for the original cast, they did an amazing job with like including not only like it was semi-angelic, and they were filming in Israel during the time, like during 1973, and there was like an aspect of the war going, like the Roman pressure, hypothetically, going on during the filming of Jesus Christ Superstar. And it's sure the costuming was a little bit somewhat spiritual, gospel-esque, 70s-esque related, but the music still holds true to the original concept album back in 1971, I think. 1971. But Norman Jewison did an amazing job with that. But for that reason, the original film, Jesus Christ Superstar, sits comfortably as an honorable mention. And for the other honorable mention, that belongs to the Royal Albert Hall celebration that occurred in sometime in the 90s. This is another production. This was another video that was on The Shows Must Go On for a limited time, for a limited weekend, and it was one of the many films that was produced for Shows Must Go On, or reused for The Shows Must Go On, and it was done by the Really Useful Group. The Shows Must Go On for the Royal Albert Hall celebration. It was Andrew Lloyd Webber's birthday, hence the purpose. It was Andrew Lloyd Webber's birthday celebration, and it was a mix of musicals from Joseph and the Amazing Technicolor Dreamcoat, Jesus Christ Superstar, Evita, Phantom of the Opera, some of those, and Cats, for that matter. There were several variations, song and dance. It was so amazing to see it for that aspect. One of my favorite numbers from the Royal Albert Hall celebration was not only Superstar in Gethsemane, but it was also the variations by Julia and Lloyd Webber that was used for the South Bank show. That it was a retelling of, it was a synthetic version of an older piece. But the reason why I liked the Royal Albert Hall celebration version of Jesus Christ Superstar was because it had a similar aesthetic to both the 1973 film and also the more modern approach of Jesus Christ Superstar with the most recent productions. You still have like the white angels, like the Soul Sisters which are basically the trio, three females singing together, saying, "Don't get me wrong, all I want to know." It's just so amazing to see like the costuming for them similar to the 1973 film. As for Judas, I don't know who personified him at the Royal Albert Hall celebration, but I know that he had an amazing twist to him, to the concept of the character of Judas Iscariot. I think the choreography was really interesting. The ensemble from the previous Jesus Christ, from Joseph and the Amazing Technicolor Dreamcoat and others, had a unique aspect, and for that reason, the Royal Albert Hall celebration for Andrew Lloyd Webber's birthday sits comfortably as an honorable mention. And finally, the number one most most favorite iteration of Jesus Christ Superstar's Superstar belongs to Andrew Lloyd Webber, Masterpiece in Beijing. This was a film done. It was kind of like the Royal Albert Hall celebration, as I mentioned earlier, but it was somehow allowed in the as a concert for for the Chinese people, in where Beijing is basically in China, and it was filmed in the early 2000s. This included mixes like special songs, like special. It had an aspect of mostly Andrew Lloyd Webber's work from its inception, from his work up until the early 2000s. But Superstar was the most famous one that they did, and it's on Jesus Christ Superstar's official YouTube channel. Tony Vincent killed it. Literally. He blew it out of the park for me. I think that Tony Vincent, when he reprised that role, I think everybody was interested. Tony Vincent is probably, if you asked me about who I would rank for the best portrayals of Judas Iscariot, I wouldn't even guess. I would have to think about it and know that the top 5 iterations of Superstar from Jesus Christ Superstar, it might change, but no matter what, the Masterpiece live in concert in Beijing still stands out to me because it's the choreography and the costuming and the setup of the stage that the cast were able to do. Note that the Masterpiece was only select songs from certain musicals. They had several from Phantom, Evita, Cats, Joseph, and The Amazing Technicolor Dreamcoat, but it's an amazing production, an amazing film to watch. And for that reason, for Tony Vincent's amazing ad-libbing skills at that, to the choreography and the costuming, that is why Masterpiece in Beijing stands tall at number 1. Well, that covers the top 5 iterations of Superstar from Jesus Christ Superstar. To be honest, I thought of this as kind of like a special in between. This is the second time I've done an in between video for March Martyrs. The first one being about a photo montage of Blessed Jerzy Papajusko, but which you should also watch. Although it's special to know a little bit about a martyr before March Martyrs season 3 comes out, I honestly think that this one is kind of reminiscent of the Good Friday special that I usually do, where I cover not only mostly in years past, I've covered for the past 2 seasons, I've done mostly for those 2 seasons, I've done people relevant to the Passion of Jesus Christ. And I thought for this video, this would be like a special tie-in. Even though that it's coming out before the premiere of March Martyrs Season 3, I think it's going to stand out strong. So if you want to know more about March Martyrs Season 3, I can safely say that there's a special theme going on. There is 5 new martyrs have been chosen, and there is for the first time, there is a March Martyrs bracket, similar to the March Madness bracket, and I think that you'll get a kick out of it. So if you don't know about the March Martyrs Madness bracket, there will be a video. There will be a link to the video in the description, or somewhere on the card, somewhere as a card somewhere, probably there. But for that reason, I gotta say, March Martyrs, it's a special tradition I honestly like doing. So special thank you to each and every one of you for watching March Martyrs. I think if you are of a different faith, knowing other faiths and beliefs and people who respected the other faiths in a way kind of unifies the world, honestly. I mean, to be honest, I even went as far as recording and editing like the not only season 3, but also telling you that there might be a season 4 coming up. So, thank you all so much for watching. And if you are new to the channel, make sure that you like, comment, and subscribe. And as a special bonus, there is a there is a podcast on the YouTube channel for Webbermania, which is basically the March Martyrs, and the recent appearances, and there'll also be the playlist that you'll occasionally find on my YouTube channel. And I started working on like Good Friday specials, that other filters of the March Martyrs. So if you have any questions or comments, leave them down in the description. Leave them down in the towel section. Otherwise, this is the Webbermania signing off. Peace out. God bless. And enjoy March Martyr Season 3 when it premieres on Valentine's Day 2024. Take care, guys.